as well, so welcome everyone. This is the first time we do this accelerator, AI for Nature. We have companies from across the Americas, from Canada, United States, Brazil, Chile, and Mexico. And for this event, we are live from Bogota, so I'm super happy for that. Just let me double click on that. Is this not working? Not working? We are live from Bogota, Colombia, and super happy to have you here. So before we start with the exciting demos from the 15 companies we have in this cohort, let me introduce Naveen Nigam, the leader for our team in the Americas, the Google for Developers head of the Americas. So Naveen, the floor is yours. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here amongst such amazing startups, amazing founders. Welcome everyone who's joining live stream as well. Really, before I even get started, Paco introduced me, but who am I? My name is Naveen Nigam. I run developer ecosystem efforts across Americas. We have two primary arms, one for our developer communities and one for our founders, startups. At the end of the day, we're trying to do what we can to help support developers, founders be successful. And so when we think about the accelerator mission, it's really about empowering startups, but the key piece to it is solving the world's biggest challenges. And one of the differentiators we have as the Google Accelerator program is we are a tech accelerator. And so we're solving technical challenges. And one of the beauties of this cohort was there are a lot of technical challenges. When you think about the data sets that you're dealing with, there's a lot there. We had some great conversations the other day, and there's a lot that Google needs to be investing more in. And so these conversations, these demos, I'm super excited about all the pitches today and all the opportunities that it'll unlock, not only for the founders, the startup ecosystem, and Google as well. Now, one of the beauties of being part of this cohort is it's not just a cohort of 15. You're actually part of a global stage. And we run accelerators around the world, and what you see behind me is some of the other accelerators that we have around the world. And so the beauty of being part of the cohort is you're actually part of a much larger alumni base. And I'm a big believer in this, that it takes a community. And what I mean by that is you're always learning from each other. And that skill, that tool in your tool belt is always something we should be taking advantage of whenever, however possible. Now, I like to share some stats, and specifically because I look at Americas, I always like to do the whole, hey, how are we doing in North America? How are we doing in Latin America? Because there are some questions that keep coming up in regards to the funding availability and so on. So let's look at what we did in North America. We did well with the number of startups. The funds raised $1.2 billion after folks graduated from our cohorts, creating close to 3,000 jobs. And a 96% survival rate really speaks volumes to the type of startups and founders we work with. That's what it looked like in North America. You look at Latin America, 1.2 billion funds was impressive for North America. We had over 10 billion in funding that came to the founders we worked with in Latin America. Look at the jobs created, 14,000 jobs. This is significant, and one of the things I always talk about when we say, why do we do the accelerator program? Why do we work with founders? It's truly a halo effect. You want founders, you want startups to be successful, but it's not just about the founder, it's not just about that startup. It's the impact that that startup has across the ecosystem, across their communities, across the region. If you think of the 14,000 jobs created, that's no small feat. This is from 2016 to current, all the cohorts that we ran. But again, with Latin America, 10 unicorns came out of our accelerator program. That's also very impressive in Latin America. We haven't had the unicorns out of our North America program yet. And my North America team, if they're watching this, it doesn't matter. It's okay. We're getting there. We're working through this. So don't hate on me. But these are really important stats for us to think about when you think about the impact that you all are having across the globe. So with that, I want to hand it back to Paco, and I am super excited for all the demos coming up. Good luck and enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you, Naveen. That was great. A good way to start the day. And before we move to the exciting demo day, let me just quickly tell you a little bit what's happening with this class, the Google for Startups Accelerator, AI for Nature. We have been working with these companies for 3 months, 10 weeks, a little bit more of content, and they have been getting access to the best of Google, our mentors, technology, the network we have, and we are thrilled to see what you are building, and we are here for that. So being a founder is super hard. It's sometimes a very lonely road, and as Naveen mentioned, we are trying to also build a real community, a community not only of founders, but also of support, mentors, experts, content. We want to be here for you for the long term. So welcome to the Accelerator family in Google. We empower companies to solve the world's biggest challenges, and I have to say that this class has returned some of the faith in humanity because they are really tackling very complex problems. They are saving the planet. So I'm super happy to get this demo day started. We already talked about the numbers, so I'm going to skip very quickly this and just let you know that we have over 100 experts working with these companies for the past few weeks. We cover basically 360, all of the topics that they need to survive and thrive, technology, experience, growth, marketing, etc. And now we are ready for the demo day. I'm gonna give you a moment for you to scan this QR code and get a chance to connect with the companies after the demo day. They will be super happy to get your support as a client, as a partner, as an investor. And so please take a look at the amazing companies, and with this scan you will get access to all of the contact information for all of them. And with that, and without further ado, let's go with the first company. Let's start with Pedro. Just let me get my notes. Let's start with Abundance from Brazil, and please join me in welcoming Pedro Miranda. He's the founder and CEO of Abundance Brazil, engineering on a mission to restore nature. So let's go, Pedro.
Music stopped. Good morning, everyone. We're Abundance Brazil, and we are turning land into verified nature-based assets using AI geospatial reasoning. Imagine if we could unlock the value of nature, like what Airbnb did to house and apartments. This is what we're doing right now. So the landowners are struggling to connect with buyers because landowners are seeing extremely big costs for certification and a very long time to start and go to market. While companies, they simply can't find enough good projects to connect with. So why don't we change that? We already have the technology, we already have AI, we already have Google Earth for that. So this is what we had created, to turn your land into value very fast. So we can map your land, we can assess your land, we can value your land, and we can generate a forest dashboard so you can start to talk to investors so you can monetize your land more. For restoration projects, agriculture projects, and also conservation projects. And it's a very easy platform. AI is there to help us, to help you, so you can publish using Google's technology, so we can reduce the costs more than 95%, and you can go to market in minutes. We're making money with landowners with a freemium version, setup costs, and recurring revenue, and we have also a fee-based for the companies. The LTV aimed is $10,000 per land, and we're gonna generate 50 times more value to the landowner. And we have a huge market right now. In Brazil, we have more than 8 million lands waiting for this type of solution. And if we get like 10,000 lands, we're gonna generate hundreds of millions for ourselves and billions for the landowners. We already making it happen with our own project, 200 hectares of new forest implemented, hundreds of millions already sold, millions already being negotiated in a closing session, and it's time to expand this to more landowners so they can leverage that as well. And we're creating the ecosystem with tech, landowners, and buyers. We have the right team to make it happen, very connected. And right now we're expanding the amount of landowners into the platform, more buyers into it, and we're aiming to become the AI geotech leader, and also to create the restoration supply chain. For that, we're looking for $500,000 for a seed round, so we can expand to millions of hectares. So the time to unlock the value of nature is now. If not, it will charge us. So let's restore nature together. Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome, great work, Pedro. Pedro, we have an audience question here. How hard is it to get some relevant and trustworthy insights from the lands? Is it cost effective?
Cool, not at all. Actually, it's not costly. Right now, the cost effective is very good of this solution. We have a lot of data sets available for free that you can connect using Google Earth Engine. So you can check out your biomass, your carbon, the tree density, and so on, the relevant information of your land using the technology that's already there. So we had leveraged that in a very easy workflow. So you can come, check it out, do a first verification, and then you can connect to the investors. And if the investors requires a certain certification after that, he can pay for it, so it makes it easy for the landowner to go to market. So we're lowering down the entry barriers. So we're making the carbon markets more available to everyone to enter in on that, not only the millionaire-funded companies. So we're making it more democratic and accessible.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pedro. That was a very enlightening presentation. Thank you for that. Let's move on. The next one is going to be Tomás Acuña from Bloom Alert. Tomás is a tech lover and satellite geek. So please give it up for Bloom Alert.
Did you know that 30% of the world population relies on desalinated water? My name is Tomás, I'm from Chile, and I want to share our vision at Bloom Alert. We are the first satellite platform that delivers to desalination plants information key to improve water production and fight against climate change. Today, we have the technology. We can turn the ocean into infinite water production, drinkable water production. But here's the paradox. The ocean itself is the biggest threat to the water supply. Ocean threats can increase the operational cost by 25%. This is a lot. Impacting on the water on a 30% on water production loss. What this means, the pain point of the industry are more or less 3 billion in 1 year of production or on impacts on the entire industry. Welcome to Bloom Alert. This is the satellite for desalination plants. So what we do, we combine satellite information with sensoring plant. We entrain this model to detect water threats and guide the operator to take better decisions locally, in situ. Thanks to Google, we're making and launching our new product, Agent Ops with Gemini. The very beginning of a new LM model, context-aware, that understands the ocean threats and deliver context for treatment every single threat of the ocean in the plant. We are, with this project, with Agent Ops, we are fulfilling the gap between the nature and the plant's protocol. The numbers speak by his own. The use of the software boosts plant performance by 20% and making savings almost in $20 million per year. This is a really good number for water scarcity. So what we are doing, we are working actually in Chile with the 65% of the water installed capacity. Giant companies like Tech, BHP, Capstone Copper relies entirely in this software. And behind of us is a great team from ecology, ML engineer, oceanographer. We are a one-of-a-kind team, and we truly are in this game to save the water security of the entire world on desalination. We aim that our goal is to trust that water intelligence full with AI will create the new standard for desalination plants. And that is what we are doing now. We are fighting against water scarcity and empowering operators, teams in plants. If anyone is looking forward for this project, we look for a pre-seed round this year. So please get in contact. We are Bloom. We are here. We improve water security for the desalination industry. Thank you so much.
Awesome job. Okay, question from the audience here is, how confident are you in the insights or recommendations produced by the agent?
Yeah, great question. Because this new product, ANOps, has been training in the last couple of months with the team of Google. And we managed more than 500 questions. We are inventing this RAG system to train different protocols for the plant, the handbook of the plant, understanding in which page and which solution to face each of the threats that we are seeing in the ocean. So, train this model on this set of questions with the ocean understanding of the alert system that we have been working these last 5 years, we are really confident on this new tool, and we're going to make a game changer for the entire industry.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. That was great. Now, the next one is going to be a video, and we'll see Julian Green from Brightband.
Hello, I'm Julian Green. I'm the CEO of Brightband, and we're democratizing weather with AI. You might have noticed there's a lot of weather around lately. In fact, in the 1980s in the US, there was a $1 billion disaster from weather every 4 months. Now there is one every 2 weeks. Weather is a big market. In fact, US GDP fluctuates by 3% every year based on weather. Companies spend $7 billion a year forecasting, governments $35 billion, and the World Bank estimates that if we had earlier and more accurate predictions of extreme weather, we'd save $162 billion every year in lives and assets not lost. We've brought a team of weather and weather data experts in Daniel Rothenberg, AI experts, Ryan Kiesler, myself, with startup and deep tech experience and AI experience, and Amy McGovern's an advisor from the University of Oklahoma. And we collaborate with all of the top research groups in AI weather, and we have a collaborative research agreement with NOAA where we are reprocessing all of their weather observations. So weather observations is about 200 petabytes or more of historical weather data, which for context is 200 times what ChatGPT was trained on. And every year we get 100 petabytes more data. And yet, just as they say we only use 10% of our brains, we're only using 5% of these observations with our relatively slow and expensive physics models. So AI is able to pull all of those observations in, and this is showing the types of data, satellite, weather stations, buoys, etc., that Brightband is pulling in this massive data pipeline that we're pulling in on Google Cloud and processing with our models. And so what we've built is a system where the observations that are sparse in time and space, there are gaps we can't observe everywhere all the time. In order to make that useful for the physics models we've used in the past, you have to assimilate it so that you smear that data over the atmosphere, and then you can forecast it. So in the past, you used physics on supercomputers to do that. AI so far has learned how to go from an initial weather state to a future forecast state based upon this, 50 years of history of this analysis. But you still have to wait for the physics model to give you that initial state. What we've done, which is unique, and we're the first to do, is have an operational AI data assimilation system which pulls in all of those observations, creates an initial weather state, and then we can run our AI forecast model. This is super exciting, not only because it means that we're getting the weather faster than anyone else in the world, but also because it allows us in the future to take advantage of all that data we're currently throwing away to, as you've seen with LLMs, use more data to make the predictions better. And also in the future, be able to give people the weather they care about, not just the standard forecast, but the one for their locations, their assets, their applications. We are the only company focused on this segment of the market where AI is disrupting the most, on aggregating the data, doing the data assimilation and forecast modeling, and forecasting the weather. And our go-to-market, we hope to not only give a forecast, but to give people the tools to forecast themselves. We think that is exciting. So if you're excited too about getting the weather earlier and getting better weather, come talk to Brightband.
Woohoo! I'm sure we'll hear more about the bright future for Brightband. Thank you, Julian. So next we have Thomas from Ceres Seeding. So please give a Lucas, I'm sorry. Lucas from Ceres Seeding. Thank you.
Hello everyone, as Paco said, I'm Lucas, co-founder and CTO of Ceres Seeding. Did you know that just in Brazil, 8 trees are taken down per second? We've already lost a third of our natural vegetation cover, and we have more than 100 million hectares of degraded areas. Current restoration methods are not at all scalable. It's very costly, complex to implement, risky in most of the areas, and require a lot of manual labor and or heavy machinery. That's where we come in. We're the fastest and most efficient way to restore a degraded landscape. We do it by bringing technology to all the steps in the restoration chain, from the initial mapping of the area to automated planting and long-term monitoring. With that, we've helped our clients achieve a reduction of up to 40% of cost and 6 times faster execution. We've already implemented 200 hectares with more than 2 tons of seed sown of at least 75 different species, 100% bought from indigenous communities. We do it by using technologies developed specifically for this purpose, like our patented seed dispersal device, tailored protocols for each area condition and biome we're working in, and with the accelerator, we were able to create a platform to help planning, managing, and implementing restoration projects. The platform is called EVI. It's a complete ecosystem restoration framework. We gather geospatial-infused data from the user, combine that with our internal knowledge and artificial intelligence on Google Earth Engine and with Gemini to provide the user with detailed guidelines for implementation, seed lists and suppliers, as well as local partner recommendations. We have more than 10 years of experience both in mobile robotics and ecosystem restoration, which makes us the perfect team to achieve our mission to restore 1 million hectares, to enable the restoration of 1 million hectares with our technologies. Don't hesitate to get in touch if you want to learn more or join our mission. Thank you.
Okay, Lucas, we have a question here. How does the solution speak with your business model and the future of your company?
Yeah, thank you. So currently, we are the ones going to the field with our team and implementing the projects. With this, we aim to have a network of trained partners that will be able to implement there locally, which will make our solution better to scale and also a way faster method to expand our protocols. That's it.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas. That looks amazing. Thank you so much. And next, we have EcoTrace Solutions. So please help me in welcoming Kevin Brotem, PhD in computer science and tech lead for EcoTrace.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin and I'm representing EcoTrace. Our company's purpose is to provide an end-to-end traceability solution, eliminating critical reputational risk as well as regulatory fines through total supply chain visibility. We are changing the game by leveraging the transparency and reliability that blockchain technology brings to the table, as well as the comprehensive information that computer vision and AI can provide. The truth is that no one wants their brand associated with social environmental problems in the supply chain. Our potential clients face several operational challenges such as manual processes, lack of integration, as well as legacy technology. This leads to strategic challenges such as reputational risk, lack of visibility, slow responses to crisis, and up to $21 billion in exports at risk due to compliance. EcoTrace solves this problem with an end-to-end solution. We provide operational efficiency with 95% automation, a centralized platform with suppliers ranked by ESG metrics, as well as real-time data on dashboards, and of course, native integration. This leads to brand protection with guaranteed compliance, total visibility, leading to sustainable, transparent, and auditable data. And also, this is the perfect timing for a solution, given the rise of new regulations such as the UDR and the US Force Act, as well as the growing global ESG pressure, with business partners and consumers alike searching for more ethical and sustainable products. The total traceability market and growth potential is huge, summing up to $12 billion worldwide. Our solution can be separated into different categories, with the first one using AI to extract valuable productivity data as well as animal well-being, currently in the context of leather, beef, and poultry, which ties to our second product, second category, which uses blockchain to end-to-end traceability, currently in the context of poultry, beef, leather, fashion, and crops, with the final consumer being able to find certified data of the origin of what he is consuming with a simple act of reading a QR code with his cell phone. Our business model involves a setup fee for implementation, a monthly fee subscription for support and constant updates, and currently we have big players in the market as our key clients, such as JBS, Minerva, and Henne. As for financials, in our 7 years of experience, we have so far traced over 6 million tons, spanning over 40% of total Brazilian bovine exports, averaging a 2x annual growth, with over 90 B2B clients so far in 4 different countries and 0% churn rate. Given that most of our sales have been organic, we are looking to get our high-impact product and expand it even more. So we are looking for $1 million in investment for focusing on growth, product, tech, and international expansion. Transparency isn't the future, it is the present. So will you join us? Thank you very much.
Awesome, Kevin. The question from our live stream here is, how difficult is it for your users to adapt your system?
That's actually a great question, because given the tech involved and the size of the facilities and different structures, it could be really complicated, but we made our solution so it has no operational changes, physical changes, to be as plug and play as possible. So we can install it in just a couple of days with no damage to the production. So awesome.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin. We will be following that cool job you're doing closely. Next, please help me in welcoming eDNA Explorer. Now, with us, it's Julie Stanford, CEO, and eDNA Explorer and Stanford Computer Science faculty member. So.
At eDNA Explorer, we're revolutionizing natural resource management through genomics and AI. The problem is that unhealthy ecosystems are very expensive and difficult to manage. Environmental consumers and environmental stewards spend over $130 billion on management and cleanup costs. And one reason that it's so expensive and difficult is because they're missing key data about what's happening on the ground. It's kind of like they're looking for their keys under a streetlight. They only have information about what they can see or hear. Geospatial data is too high level and doesn't give you information on what's on the ground. And traditional field methods miss tiny microbes and elusive organisms that are often key to the whole thing. But there's a new technology called environmental DNA, where you can sequence all the DNA in a sample of soil or water and identify all the organisms in there, from microbes to plants to animals, which unlocks all kinds of management opportunities. For example, imagine you're a commercial forester losing yield to pests. You can use eDNA to detect the pests before you can see them, then integrate that with geospatial data and AI, and learn, for example, that roads are causing the problem and are spreading the pests, and you can actually introduce beneficial microbes into the soil to prevent the infestation in the first place, which results in higher profits, cheaper management, and healthier ecosystems all in one. We're building a flywheel for gathering and modeling this data. It starts by introducing eDNA integrated management tools, which attract customers in industry, NGOs, government who pay us to run eDNA projects, which lets us build the first ever proprietary eDNA database so that we can sell subscriptions to predictive models of risk and resilience all over the world, which then leads to better tools, and the flywheel continues. This unlocks $40 billion of TAM globally across fields from commercial development to regulation to risk assessment and conservation. We've already launched version 1, which is an eDNA-powered monitoring tool to identify organisms, and it integrates geospatial data to predict biodiversity drivers. This has resulted in $1.25 million of revenue, 25 customers, a 90% retention rate, and that incredible eDNA data set moat, which enables us now to work on version 2, launching in Q4 of 2025, an agentic recommendation engine, realizing the vision. And we have a rock star team with 25 years of experience. Rachel Meyer is the world expert in eDNA at UC Santa Cruz. Jim and I have 25 years each of experience in UX and software development. So join the eDNA revolution. We're seeking customers to work with us and investors for a fall 2025 $2 million seed round. Hope to talk to you soon.
Awesome, Julie. So we have a question. What can you do with eDNA data, and how do people in the industry use it?
Well, we talked about a commercial use case, but there's also these really amazing restoration use cases. Restoration's a huge market, and 20 to 40% of restorations fail. With eDNA, you actually can get understanding of what you should be introducing based on the actual microbial, plant, and animal profile of that area. It gives you biodiversity data that's really unprecedented.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie. And now we are going to do a very quick break. So we'll reconvene in 10 minutes so people watching on YouTube can have a space for a bio break and refresh their coffees, and you do the same. So 10 minutes, thank you. Ready? All right, welcome back. And we are ready to continue. Please welcome Drea Burbank. She's the CEO of Savimbo, MD, technologist, and yoga addict.
Hi, everyone. I'm Drea, and I'm here to present for Savimbo. Savimbo is how to save a planet, not you should have saved that planet, why didn't my neighbor save the planet, or I'll do it tomorrow, but step-by-step instructions on how to save the planet today. This whole thing started because my friend Johnny had a Jaguar in his backyard, and he started following it around with a video camera. And people don't change that often, but Johnny really changed. He stopped growing coca, he became a vegetarian and an environmentalist. And most importantly, he convinced 400 of his nearest neighbors to do the same thing. At Savimbo, we study outliers, and we asked ourselves, why did Johnny do this? Why? And we decided Johnny did it because the Jaguar was beautiful, it was wild, and it was bigger than him. And that's the way I feel about our company, Savimbo, because that's the way everybody at Savimbo feels about this planet. We always make a joke that Savimbo is like solar punk and indigenous people had a baby. We started in this patch of the Colombian Amazon with 3 founders, 20 years of experience. Johnny in below canopy conservation, myself in frontier tech and deep science, and Fernando in indigenous rights and governance. We have the first certified biodiversity credit on international markets last week. That means it's the first time that biodiversity can trade like oil. And we have a pipeline, an automated pipeline, to supply these credits. Now, biodiversity credits are different than carbon credits, but they're running on the same guardrails, which means they're moving pretty fast. This is a predicted $180 billion market. Our advantage in this market is that we're the only ones currently that certify. That means we have something that's tangible, third-party validated by a Colombian certifier, which is internationally recognized. What it actually looks like below the canopy is this: a number of indigenous nations with game cameras generating high-quality biodiversity data, which is then extracted for indicator species, and uses our open-source science algorithm to print biodiversity credits. That means that on the market, we're not only the only ones that certify, we're also the only ones that are legitimately co-founded and co-owned by indigenous peoples. Now, how does that look in economic terms? It means that I can protect the same standing forest for 70% less than carbon credits, and the locals get 4 times more. In unit economics, that means I can start a project for $10,000, and within a year, it's releasing $840,000 to the community and to Savimbo, because we do a 50-50 gross revenue split. We have 40 like projects at the equator waiting to scale. Our clients are in 47 countries. We're raising $1.2 million, standard YC safe terms. I am inviting you to do as our clients did and join us to be trusted pioneers for a solar punk future.
Drea, this is awesome. Question here from the audience. You said biodiversity could trade like oil. Can you explain a little bit more about this, and what did you mean by that?
Yeah, so the carbon market was formed by the Paris Accords. 196 nations signed a treaty. The biodiversity market actually signed its treaty 30 years earlier, and they also agreed to create a market. But the reason that they didn't is because the science was tough. But indigenous people understand biodiversity better. Because of who our founders are, we were able to simplify and radically optimize the science in order to reach a commodities unit that could actually trade. That means it's tangible and a commodity, it's a novel instrument.
Awesome, thank you so much.
That is amazing. Amazing job, Savimbo. Thank you. And now we have Lila Bergy, VP of Business Development for SenseNet. She drives global partnerships and sales growth with governments, utilities, and enterprise clients. Welcome.
everyone, my name is Leila, and I'm presenting SenseNet, the fastest early wildfire detection management solution in the world. Our purpose is simple. We stop wildfire before they become disasters. And we all know that the wildfire is a big concern, and it's getting worse every year. And 2023, 18 million hectares burned in Canada. It's like 100 Bogotas burned completely. And 2025 is not getting better, unfortunately. So what SenseNet does? It has satellite, cameras, sensors, platform. But what is unique about it? Well, we analyzed market and identify gaps. We built all-in-one solution powered by Google Cloud and Vertex AI. This multi-layer approach gives the most comprehensive and accurate data. So today, we have installed more than 2,000 sensors, more than 200 cameras, and we also protected more than 105 million acres and detected more than 4,000 fires. And here's a great case study. We love working with State of Vernon. And the past 4 years, they had zero wildfire outbreak because we detected 217 fires in early stage within 3 minutes and saved $2 million over 4 years. And here's our partnerships, and we operate global. We work with the telecom and also industrial companies, government, municipalities, communities, to protect them from the wildfires. And our business model based on the hardware installation and subscription annual fee. And we also analyzed the market for wildfire detection and management, which is estimated around 15 billion USD. And we currently focused on a market Australia, Indonesia, Brazil, Chile, Canada, US, which is estimated around 500 million USD. And monthly revenue, recurring revenue, has grew from 280,000 to 450,000 in 3 months. Also, 6.5 million USD raised successfully in Series A. And also, we're going to protect more than 100 communities by 2026. And here, as you can see, our team members that working more than 5 years to protect communities and people around the world. Thank you very much.
Okay, we have a question here. How does SenseNet address privacy concerns when using cameras and sensors?
That's a very good question. So cameras positioned only for wildfire detection, focusing on forest and larger area, but never into houses or private spaces. And all images are analyzed and processed solely for fire and the smoke detection. But never people faces in houses is blurred automatically in the system. As for the sensors, they collect only environmental data, different gases such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, but never personal information. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you. That was a great presentation, Leila. And now, for the next speech, we have David Kami. He's co-founder and innovation director at Toronto. Welcome, David.
Hello, everyone. I'm David. I'm from Mexico City, and I'm co-founder of Toronto. So we know that when healthy, an ecosystem offers different ecosystemic services like carbon, water, and biodiversity. And often, companies' operations depend on these ecosystemic services. So what Toronto does is we help them restore ecosystems, and we keep them healthy so that their operations are not compromised and they can meet their sustainability goals. Toronto has two different business models. The first one, we develop forestry carbon sequestration projects in Mexico and sell carbon offsets in the voluntary market for companies to offset their carbon footprint. in terms of water, imagine a company like Coca-Cola, that they extract water from the aquifer to create their product. Toronto helps them regenerate the ecosystem's capacity to infiltrate more water into this ecosystem so that it doesn't run out. We know that 50% of Mexico belongs to communities, so partnering up with them to have real impact was really a no-brainer. We have heard their stories, we have walked their forest, and we have developed long-term partnerships with them that generate economic incentives for them. This then led to Toronto's mission, that is to lead in the reconciliation of humanity with nature. And to do this, we have scaled our operations. In the water business, we now work with the largest industries in food and beverages like Coca-Cola, IBM, PepsiCo. And in carbon, we have already sold carbon offsets to the largest players in the carbon market like Microsoft. Today, we are a territorial company and are operating in 12 states in Mexico. And we have grown from our four people founding team to a 60 people team in this year. But why am I here? Well, I am here because we have developed Toronto Track. Toronto Track is our monitoring and reporting tool that allows us to increase the transparency and traceability of our operations, also makes us a bit more agile, and also allows us to scale while maintaining our quality standards. Using AI, we are now measuring and improving the quality of the data that we are collecting from the field. This leverages our capacity to be on the ground and combine ground data with satellite imagery to measure the impact that we are having on these ecosystems. Using this tool, we now know that we are generating great impact in Mexican ecosystems and communities. And our current challenge is scale. We often find ourselves saying no when we'd love to say yes to everything. And that is why we are fundraising our Series A to generate the next generation of carbon sequestration projects and increase our operations through better software, hardware, and science teams. Thank you very much. I'm David, and please feel free to reach out.
Awesome, David. Thank you. Very interesting stuff here. Question here is, how do you leverage technology as a territorial company, and what are the challenges around this strategy?
Yeah, well, we are a territorial company, so everything we do in terms of technology is an investment that we do. And as terms of investment, we have to measure what is the benefit of this for the company. So we started as measuring a simple ROI of the product into our operations, but then the challenge was not to be focused on that. So we started measuring the quality, the increase of the quality of the projects that we could do leveraging technology. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Gracias, David. Gracias, David. Thank you. That was a great presentation. And next, we have another video. In this case, it's by Renoster Systems. They couldn't be here, but we'll see the pitch on video.
Hello, Google Bogota. My name is Saif Bhatti, the CEO and founder here at Renoster, and I'm excited to take you through climate action that you can stand behind. Unfortunate reality today is that corporates are really struggling to meet their 2030 interim targets along their way to 2050 net zero. And high quality carbon credits are going to be required in order for them to abate their emissions and to meet the targets that they have set out. Unfortunately, there's also very few high-quality nature-based solutions that are available to them. Most of these issues are around transparency that creates reputational risk for buyers, as well as a lack of supply in general, and then an inefficiency to replenish that supply when it gets low. One of the other corners of the market that's suffering from this is that small landowners are trapped out of the space. Because of the registry system today, it's super slow to get a project started. It takes 1 to 2 years, and it's too expensive, something like 6 figures or more, which means that if you have under 2,000 acres, it's financially infeasible for you to participate in the market. In Maine, where we're seeing 84% of forest landowners, they don't actually have a forest management plan when they go to harvest their trees. So that means that when a logger would come to their property and offer them a lucrative sounding contract to cut their trees down, they'll often take it because they have to generate revenue, they have to pay bills and fines and fees on their property. But that results in suboptimal long-term consequences for the landowner, but also for the environment and for the carbon that's not being sequestered there. So at Renoster, we've been mostly focused on this space from a ratings perspective. We've been rating and working with some of the largest buyers in the carbon markets in order to understand which projects they should invest in and where should they place their dollar when it comes to return on investment from a carbon lens. But now we're working with small landowners in order to participate into the market. So we're launching a new program called Apollo. This is specifically geared to these small landowners, starting in New England, and will expand nationally. And our idea is to essentially bring the best-in-class science and the best-in-class technology together in order to facilitate their onboarding. So our program generates 100% carbon removals. It's leveraging LiDAR in order to do this carbon validation and verification. And then all of the credits that are generated are going to be insured to protect end buyers in the case of reversals or delivery risk along the way. And the premise of it is pretty simple. We're taking people who have pulpwood trees of the majority of their trees and growing them out until they're in sawlog and chip and saw categories in order for them to essentially grow to older size classes that are more valuable, that have the ability to sequester much more carbon, and paying them along the way while they do that. So we've been able to give a new vantage point for landowners. They've been able to scroll into their property. They can see exactly their forested acreage, how many different tree species they have, as well as the carbon estimates for today and for tomorrow, and how much they could be making on an annual basis along the way. We've been able to knock down a lot of barriers that stop landowners from participating. So, for example, the six-figure cost went down to zero. We made it completely free. The 1 to 2 years for onboarding went down to a week. And that meant that scale could go from 2,000 down to people who have 25 acres or more, which is a huge swath of new landowners. We're also redefining what the buyers see when they go through this process and make sure that they can understand where the projects are, exactly how their science is working, and allow them to dig into the project's impact in a very transparent manner. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make it out to Bogota this time, but we are having a launch event in New York City for Climate Week. So if anyone's going to that, we'd invite you to tag along and to let us know. We'd love to see you there. And in general, we'd love to connect with you after this. So thanks so much.
Thank you. It's great work Renoster Systems is doing. Now, let's receive Antonio LeBlanc, who went from intern to CTO and co-founder of goo.gle.
Hi everyone, I'm Antonio, CTO and co-founder of goo.gle, which means 1.5 degrees in Portuguese, and we are working on AI-powered wildfire management. As we all know, the world is burning. Every year, an area larger than India gets burned, releasing more than 2 billion tons of CO2 in the atmosphere. That's 5% of all global CO2 emissions. And in the US alone, the economic damages of wildfires are of almost $1 trillion every year. That's why we built Pantera, a platform that empowers leaders in agribusiness and conservation to protect their land and assets. We combine the speed of high-resolution cameras with satellite monitoring, enabling our clients to prevent, detect, and manage wildfires more effectively. So Pantera is an end-to-end solution, starting with prevention through risk assessment. Then, the high-resolution cameras can spot smoke within seconds. A fire-spreading algorithm can simulate the fire's behavior, so the firefighters have the best tools to act. They know which brigades are closer and what are the best routes. And the results are undeniable. We have been working with leaders in forestry, agribusiness, and conservation, and they have achieved huge results in reduction of burned area and also in brigades dispatch time. We also have an environmental conservation project in the Brazilian Pantanal that has helped to avoid the emission of 15 million tons of CO2. This has allowed our clients to save more than $200 million in assets, and the typical payback of these projects are very short, less than 6 months. These results have fueled our growth. We are monitoring more than 20 million actors with almost 200 cameras installed thanks to 40 clients, mostly in Brazil and recently in India and Paraguay. During the accelerator, we started using Google's Gemini to create an internal agent that is preparing us for our next step, which will be an AI copilot that will help firefighters with real-time combat information. We are currently seeking for partners for the internationalization of our company and also investors for our upcoming round. We are 1,5 graus. The Earth temperature has already risen by 1.5 degrees. The time to act is now. Thank you.
Awesome job. Awesome job. Question here. How do you plan to scale your logistics as you expand into new geographic markets?
Okay. Right. Installing hardware sometimes can be hard, but we are doing the same way we did in Brazil. We started with our own team installing the hardware, and after we develop a network of telecom providers that can help install this hardware all across Brazil. And the idea for the internationalization is the same, so we will have strategic partner in each country, and they will develop this telecom network of installers for us. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent, Antonio. And now with us, Diana Biglovkova, co-founder and CEO of Exatoms. She received an award from the Swedish royal family at 17. She has a knack for creative problem solving and has already traveled to 108 countries, aiming to visit every country in the world. Welcome, Diana.
Hi everyone, my name is Diana and I'm the CEO and the co-founder of Exatoms. At Exatoms, we are on a mission to clean polluted water. The problem is that current filtration solutions can turn dirty water into clear water. However, this clear water may still contain invisible contaminants such as heavy metals, biological pathogens, chemical pollutants that are killing millions of people every single year. And at Exatoms, we are solving this problem by discovering new materials called photocatalysts. Photocatalysts are these powder-like materials which when added to contaminated water and exposed to visible light sources such as sunlight or LED, can turn this dirty water into clean and safe drinking water within under 30 minutes. We developed a patented process which uses combination of AI and quantum chemistry to computationally discover new molecules of these photocatalysts. So far, we discovered 8 patented photocatalysts, each of them tackling different types of world's toughest water contaminants. And with these 8 photocatalysts, we can already prevent 3.5 million waterborne deaths every single year. Our materials are 4 times more effective because of the way we used to discover them, and we're also 2 times cheaper because we turn these photocatalysts into coatings, and we coat surfaces of filters, reactors. And this coating can last for 12 months without losing its efficiency. Last year, we hit a big milestone, which was bringing our technology from the lab to actual communities, and we've already executed 3 paid pilot projects. We've had a project in Texas, Kenya, and South Africa, impacting over 160,000 people and generating $1.5 million in revenue. And our path to $100 million includes executing on more pilots such as these, and then we are also looking into more industrial introductions. We are working with mining companies in Canada where we are removing heavy metals, as well as our impact has been pretty good in the last 2 years. We've been just recently featured by the UN as part of their impact report through our work and collaboration with water.org, co-founded by Matt Damon. And we are a team of 11 full-time employees now. We have PhDs and experts in quantum chemistry, AI. The 3 co-founders are all computer engineers. And we've just closed our pre-seed round of $3 million, and we will be raising $6 million starting at the end of this year. Thank you very much.
Wow, Diana, this is awesome. Okay, we do have a question here. How will your lab to model feedback loop work, and what impact do you expect it to have on the discovery accuracy?
So we are constantly improving our AI models. We have two teams. We have the synthetic team and computational team. So the synthetic team works on experiments where they're testing our materials, and then the feedback loop works that the data they get, they send to our computational team, which is then able to improve our AI models constantly, and so we can discover the new molecules and reduce the time of discovery from months to days. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Diana. Amazing work Exatoms is doing. And now, for a powerful closure, we have Sasank, co-founder of Terradot, a startup scaling carbon removal with enhanced rock weathering. Please welcome.
Hi, I'm Sasank, co-founder of Terradot. We are a science and technology company unlocking gigaton-scale carbon removal through enhanced rock weathering, or ERW. We generate high-quality carbon credits and then sell them to leading carbon buyers. To date, we've sold over 300,000 tons of carbon removal credits to leading buyers, including Google. We're grateful to be backed by leading investors, including John Doerr, who led our Series A, and also having Google join the round. But what I'm most proud of is our rockstar team, pun intended. We were founded out of research at Stanford, where I worked on AI and climate research previously. We're a team of over 60 leading scientists, engineers, and operators from leading institutes and organizations around the world. We're split between San Francisco and Brazil, where our projects are, and over a third of our team has PhDs. So what is ERW, or enhanced rock weathering? So Earth has this magical process called the natural silicate weathering cycle. When it rains on silicate rocks, they weather, generating alkalinity and pulling carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and storing it permanently away. Enhanced rock weathering, ERW, simply speeds up that natural process. We take the same silicate rocks, crush it to make it a finer powder, and then apply it on agricultural fields that are warm, wet, and acidic to accelerate that reaction to happen in years rather than millennia. ERW has the potential to remove up to 5 gigatons of CO2 per year at full scale, making it a promising solution to hit our net zero goals. So it sounds simple, right? Take rocks, crush it to a fine powder, put it in agricultural fields, remove carbon. However, the main challenge is the MRV, the measurement, reporting, and verification of the CO2, quantifying actually how much carbon is removed. Today, you have to take hundreds, if not thousands of samples per field to quantify how much carbon is removed. This involves taking soil samples in the scorching sun, going into fields full of snakes with super tall crops to take soil aqueous samples, and sometimes even jumping on a kayak downstream in rivers of our deployments to verify the carbon removal, including by myself, as you can see in the picture there. Model-based MRV has a lot of potential to enable ERW to effectively scale. The traditional process to do so involves using scientific process-based models. These models are computationally really expensive and super hard to calibrate. You have to explicitly define all the scientific processes like the mineral kinetics, the soil biogeochemical interactions, amongst other scientific processes. So the challenge I set for myself during this accelerator is, can we use AI to model ERW? And I'm really excited to announce, for the first time ever, our major breakthrough, Terra Nova version 0.1, an AI model for ERW. This is a 1.25 billion parameter AI, state-of-the-art AI model trained to predict and optimize both weathering rates and carbon removal. What's really exciting about the model is it's implicitly learned the underlying scientific processes, like the mineral kinetics. It's been trained on a first-of-a-kind large data set that we've assembled, consisting of 90,000 weathering sequences. The model achieves an impressive 0.369 tons of CO2 per hectare mean absolute error on the test data set. What's really exciting about these results is this is going to pave the way to reduce ERW costs by 50%, enabling us to scale to gigaton scale and have planetary impact. I'm really excited, and we're really excited at Terradot to continue to collaborate with Google to use AI to scale up ERW and hit our planetary net zero goals. Thank you very much.
Awesome, some exciting work there. Okay, our final question here from the live stream is, why is model-based MRV important for ERW to scale?
Thank you. That's a great question. So as I talked about, cost is a big part of being able to scale up ERW. Currently today, about 50% of your costs are just for the MRV, and that's a combination of going to the field, taking all those measurements, but also doing the lab analyses. So what's really exciting about model-based approaches is you can reduce that cost, making it cheaper and easier to scale. And beyond just the cost, there's a lot of labor and kind of scientific rigor with getting the right lab, the logistics of transporting the sample safely to the lab. So model-based approaches go beyond just the cost, but allow us to ultimately make this more efficient and easy to scale anywhere. Of course, we'll have to go hand in hand. We'll have to take ground truth samples consistently and scale up safely to ultimately get to that vision of very limited or no sampling. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sasank. Thank you, Sasank. That was amazing. Thank you all for being here. This has been a great presentation, and I hope that by now you also feel a little restored and a little more faithful on the future for humanity with these teams solving these really complex and great problems. So congratulations to all. I will give you again this QR code in case you want to reach out and connect with these amazing founders. Please do so. We are super happy to having them join the Google family, the Google for Startups Accelerator alumni network we have. And we also invite you, if you are building another startup across the globe, please use Google for Startups Cloud. We have these credits for you that can help you grow your business and join this amazing program. I'll give you a second to grab the QR, and with that, I will thank you again and close this transmission and the demo day. Thank you everyone for being here. Congratulations to all of the companies. You are amazing, and see you next time. Bye.
Great job, everyone.